Well, hello everyone. I hope you're having a blessed and beautiful day today. So I saw this article on Now the End Begins, and I thought I would share it with you. I think it's quite interesting, and we can see how this particular thing is starting to creep up, and it's beginning to take shape and take form and getting the attention of quite a few people. And especially here in the United States, I've been talking about this for some time. And so I wanted to read this for you. And the title of it is Prepare Yourself for the ID 2020 COVID-19 Immunity Passport that combines digital identity with vaccinations, blockchain, and the nanotechnology. Let me see. I have to scroll down. Give me just a moment here. All right. It says it's called the COVID-19 Credentials Initiative, or CCI, and it is a global coven of tech entities like ID 2020, Microsoft, Bill Gates, the National Health Services in the UK, and Silicon Valley here in the United States. Listen to what the homepage of their website wants you to know about what they're building. The COVID-19 Credentials Initiative, or CCI, is a collaboration of 60-plus organizations to deploy verifiable credentials solutions to enable society's return to normal in a controlled, measurable, and privacy-preserving way. Okay, from the COVID Creeds, the COVID-19 Credentials Initiative, CCI, is a collaboration of more than 60 organizations, and I just read that, so just give me a second. Okay, our goal is simple. We want to enable society to return to normal in a controlled, measurable, and privacy-preserving way. The initiative is a direct response to the many calls for an immunity passport, a digital certificate that lets individuals prove and request proof from others that they're recovered after testing negative, have tested positive for antibodies, or have received a vaccination once one is available. By providing some level of immunity, individuals will be able to begin practicing in everyday life again. Using the W3C industry standard called verifiable credentials, we have a blueprint to move forward. Yet while the underlying tech and standards are established, the vision for immunity certificates and other related credentials is far bigger than any one organization. To move at the speed and scale required, we need true collaboration across all fronts, and we are extending an open invitation for any organization or individual looking to join this endeavor. Ooh, okay. Hang on just a second. It says read more, but I'm going to pause just a second. So I'm going to read this to you because it sent me to their website, and I'm going to read it, and you're going to hear it just as hear it first as I'm reading it first. I haven't read through this yet, but when it popped up, the title of it says COVID Credentials Initiative, and then underneath it says, we are a global cross-sector community of organizations using digital identity as a way to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 and reboot public trust. Holy smokes. Okay, and then it says about the initiative. The COVID-19 Credentials Initiative is a collaboration of more than 60. Okay, I already read that. The initiative is a direct response to the many calls. Okay, you read that. Okay, and then it says coming together for the good. 200 plus contributors already. 60 plus global organizations already, and let's see here. Okay, let's see. So they just want people to come in their tools and technology, join the technical conversations around how the best architect and deploy the technology needed for COVID-19 credentials, coordination, communication, and inclusion. This group manages the internal and external communications to align participants and communicate the vision and output to all stakeholders, including issuers, verifiers, journalists, and the public. Let's see here. So it says participating organizations already. Let's see if I recognize any of these. Life ID. I don't know. That kind of looks weird. All right, let me go back over here because that wasn't very much. Okay. All right. Now we'll continue. It says US-based quantum dot producer Quantum Materials Corp, QMC, announced its blockchain-based QDX Health ID, for transparency in disease testing and immunizations for infectious disease. The goal is to ensure the authenticity of health data and support individuals to rejoin the workforce quickly. With the health data backed by blockchain, governments and health agencies can formulate new plans and safety measures to contain the spread of COVID-19 and other diseases. Additionally, individual users can assess their immunization passport using a mobile application. Oh my goodness. The app features color-coded indicators, green, yellow, and red. If the app shows the green indicator, the individual has the clearance to interact in social network environments. Oh my goodness. The indicator can be shared and authenticated by others using a QR code. Oh my goodness. The world must have a system that eliminates the fears and anxieties of not knowing who is able to return to work, said Les Paul, CEO of QMVT, the unit responsible for sales and marketing of QMC's, which is the quantum dot producer. Oh my goodness. The solution is hosted on the Microsoft Azure cloud and can integrate with existing EMR systems. It is based on the Hyperledger Sawtooth Enterprise blockchain, and for smart contracts is using a digital asset modeling language. Oh my goodness. Ledger Insights reported on the COVID Credentials Initiative, CCI, which uses digital identity to develop immunity passports. Members of the initiative include Evrim, ID 2020, Uport, Dutch research organizations, TNO, Microsoft, and then there's other ones. Let's see here. All right. Okay, so out of curiosity, I went over to look at what the quantum dot tattoo is. I wanted to kind of read through it. This is interesting too. Oh my goodness. So this says quantum dot tattoos hold vaccination records. Keeping track of a child's shots could be so much easier with technology invented by a new Rice University professor. The tags are incorporated in only some of the array of sugar-based microneedles on a patch. When the needles dissolve in about 2 minutes, they deliver the vaccine and leave a pattern of tags just under the skin, where they become something like a barcode tattoo. Instead of ink, this highly specific medical record consists of copper-based quantum dots embedded in biocompatible micron-scale capsules. Their near-infrared dye is invisible, but the pattern they set can be read and interpreted by a customized smartphone. The 2-year project is aimed at the 1.5 million preventable deaths that result from a lack of vaccinations. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation came to us and said, "Hey, we have a real problem knowing who's vaccinated," said McHugh, who was recruited to join Rice with funding from the Cancer Prevention and Research Institute of Texas. They said, "We go on vaccination campaigns where people get into Hummers, drive through rural villages, set up a tent, and start immunizing people. But they don't always know who's been immunized before and what vaccines are still needed. Parents often don't know their children's vaccination histories," he said. "So our idea was to put the record on the person. This way, later on, people can scan over the area to see what vaccines have been administered and give only the ones still needed. There are two sides to this. First is that you don't administer unnecessary vaccines, which has a cost, but even bigger, you don't leave people under-immunized and a risk of getting infectious diseases. Oh my goodness. The square centimeter patches hold up to 16 tiny needles. They don't go very deep, which makes them theoretically painless and a lot easier for kids. They're like putting on a bandage because the 1.5 millimeter needle disintegrate in the skin. No biohazardous sharp remain for disposal. Testing the model skin in strong light showing a 4 nanometer dot should be readable for at least 5 years. I'm surprised it doesn't say 7. Okay, that's the end of that. This is crazy, guys. This is insanity. So, yeah, I saw that that article on Now the End Begins, and how they were talking about how France, Emmanuel Macron is agreeing with the Pope on doing like a something similar to this, kind of like the wristband thing. And the wristbands, speaking of that, how China is doing the wristbands, they can be trackable, and they're forcing their people to wear them. Well, here in America, they're trying to do that also. And they're trying to force people to wear these bands so that they know who has had, or who is well, or who is not sick with the COVID. And they're trackable wristbands. And the states that I know of for sure are Montana, Idaho, and Washington are trying to do that. And the people are starting to, give pushback. So right now, it's not mandatory, but I can see the direction that it's headed, and I can see where it's going, because they don't want people out of the house. They're saying, if you want to be able to, come out of quarantine and be able to live your life freely, you have to wear these bands. And so we'll see how this all plays out. But anyways, I just wanted to read that for you guys. And, if you haven't already, I suggest you come to Jesus today. This is your day of salvation. Don't wait, because we can already see the stuff happening, which means that Jesus is coming soon, and very soon. So anyways, I thought I would share that, and I will leave that with you. And I love you. And until next time, may you be richly blessed.